What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Z Sports and Entertainment. I am Z, coming to you from the basement. Welcome back. Took about 3 weeks off. Got some stuff in order. Got some stuff in line. Again, life is constantly evolving. Life is constantly changing. But just keep in mind, no matter how hard life may be, no matter how stacked things and the odds may be stacked against you, just keep pushing, keep driving, and just always find time for yourself. Always find time for yourself. Always find time and space to to get your mind right. Um, so that's what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, just getting my life in order, getting everything together, just trying to get back on track. Um, but we here, we back, and let's talk about it. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs on winning the Super Bowl. It's been a long season. It's been a crazy season. I would like to thank the NFL for an amazing season. The playoffs have been great. The Pro Bowl was somewhat exciting. All in all, from August up until this point, I've been very happy. I've been very excited. I've been growing as a person. I've been growing as a content creator, and we just trying to put the best possible stuff out. So that's what we're gonna focus on doing. But again, congratulations to Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and the entire Kansas City Chiefs organization on winning the Super Bowl. We're gonna dig into it a little bit. We're gonna talk about it. First, we're gonna get into just the overall playoffs. Both of these teams got here. Both of these teams were the number one overall seeds. Both of these teams shared a lot of similarities. I mean, they on paper, these look like the exact same teams. They're identical. They look the exact same. But I don't even know. This playoffs was just great for the Eagles. The Eagles had a first round bye going into the divisional round. They were playing a pretty hot Giants team. They neutralized them. They put their fire out with no problem. You move on to the 49ers. And a lot of people are saying, the Eagles wouldn't be here. Brock Purdy wouldn't have got hurt, this and that. A lot of talk about the active quarterback number for a playoff roster. A lot of people said that if the 49ers would have been able to hold three quarterbacks, just a lot of different stuff as far as that 49ers-Eagles game went. But you can't be mad at Brock Purdy. You can't be mad at Hassan Reddick. You can't be really mad at anybody in that situation. That was a football play. Hassan Reddick beat Tyler Kraft. And I said Kraft, Tyler Croft. And he was able to get to Brock Purdy before he released the ball. And I think I read somewhere today or heard somewhere today that he may have to have Tommy John surgery. That's a baseball injury. So if he's Tommy John, he's going to be at least 6 to 9 months before he even starts throwing the football again. So just looking ahead, it's looking like Trey Lance is going to be able to have a good grip and a nice firm on this team. Now, that doesn't mean that there is going to be very little room for error for Trey Lance when Brock Purdy does come back, because that young man proved himself. And as much as I hate to say it, he proved himself a lot more than Trey Lance has already done. So it's going to be interesting to see what San Francisco does at quarterback. But yeah, the Eagles took care of business in the NFC Championship game against the 49ers. Paved their way to see the Chiefs. I apologize. I'm so sorry. But anyway, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Same thing. First round bye. Divisional round. They had a pretty tough matchup against the up-and-coming Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are going to be a threat for a pretty good time. Trevor Lawrence, Etienne, Doug Peterson, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, them spending money on the O-line, Aluakon coming from the Falcons, Travon Walker and Josh Allen on the edge. I mean, they got decent secondary play. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars. I like where they're going. I like the direction they're going in. And you take away some immaturity and some inexperience, it's a good chance they could have won that game against the Chiefs. But unfortunately they did not. Move on to the Bengals and Chiefs game. A lot of people were hoping for a lot of people were hoping for Chiefs Bills AFC Championship. They had already pinned that game to be played in Atlanta in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. I said Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Lord have mercy, I can't believe I just said that. The Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And I think the Chiefs took that personal. And we saw that in the way Joe Burrow played in Buffalo. Joe Burrow played damn near flawless football in Buffalo, which ultimately led them to playing the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. And and that was a great game from start to finish. Both sides, both teams, both organizations, both coaching staffs, they came to play. They came to play. That was playoff football. That is a game that you would like to see. That's a game you want to see who's gonna play in the Super Bowl. That's a game I don't mind saying. You know what? As tough as a loss as that was for the Bengals, the Chiefs earned it. They got their get back from the year before, and it didn't come down to a quote unquote questionable call. That game came down to Pat Mahomes scrambling for a first down, extending the play, getting yards so Harrison Buckner could get as close as he possibly could to kick the game-winning field goal, and a young, inexperienced player pushing Pat Mahomes while he was already out of bounds to add 15 more yards. That's what that game came down to. Buckner knocks it in. Chiefs advance to the Super Bowl. And now we got the game that everybody wants to see. You got Kelsey versus Kelsey. You got 1 versus 1. You got offensive guru versus offensive guru. I mean, this game is full of elite playmakers. It was full of elite playmakers, and they were on full display. They were on full display, from Mahomes to Jalen Hurts to Juju Smith-Schuster coming alive in that second half, to Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown being involved, Dallas Goedert, Nick Bolton, T.J. Edwards. That was a great game. The Super Bowl this year was, from a fan's perspective, from someone who feels like they know sports and watches this stuff enough to know what I'm talking about. That was a hell of a game. Game started, Eagles came down right out the gate. Boom, they did what they did all year. Opening drive touchdowns, opening drive touchdowns, opening drive touchdowns. Jalen Hurts is a problem, and Jalen Hurts is going to be a problem for a very long time. So we better get used to him. We got to get used to him. That kid, in my eyes, although he's had a great season, although he, was runner-up for MVP, and he probably would have won MVP if he wouldn't have got hurt, on the back end of the regular season. But that kid showed me tonight that he's the future of the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, you got A.J. Brown. Yes, you got Devontae Smith. Yes, you got playmakers on both sides of the ball, and you got this young, head coach in Sirianni. But, Jalen Hurts showed me tonight that he's the future of the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to go as far as Jalen Hurts takes them. That kid proved everyone wrong about whatever their concerns would be. Coming into this season, this was somewhat of a prove-it year for Jalen Hurts. A lot of people thought that what he did this year is what Tua was supposed to do. Not to say that Tua didn't have a good season, but Tua has some injury things that he got to get over. But Jalen Hurts deserves everything that is coming to him in the near future or even further down the line. But back to the game. Eagles come down, opening drive, score, make it look easy. Chiefs respond immediately with a touchdown, Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce. And I don't understand how you lose Tyreek Hill. So the focal point of this offense and like what they need from Travis Kelce in order for this team to be successful, I don't understand how this man is so wide open all the time. 87 was so open tonight that it was ridiculous. I thought that maybe having Gardner Johnson on him or even somewhere in the vicinity, but I don't know. It honestly looked like the Eagles had no answer for Travis Kelce. That's just me being honest. But as the game went on, Eagles defense was able to slow down the Chiefs offense in the first half. TJ Edwards made an open field tackle on Pat Mahomes, and it kind of re-aggravated that ankle. So going into the half, the Eagles were up 24-14, and it looked like they were possibly going to run away with this game. It looked like the Eagles were in firm position. It looked like they were in great shape, and there was a question mark about Pat Mahomes because coming out of the half, the Chiefs got the ball. So if you coming out the half and Chad Henne is the quarterback, if I'm the Eagles defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, I'm coming after him. I'm coming after him. I'm applying the pressure. Chad Henne would have to beat me at that point in the game. But after a 29-minute halftime show, good job, Rihanna. Congratulations as well on your second child. But after a 29-minute halftime, it gave the training staff for the Chiefs a little bit more time to fool around with that ankle. They did whatever they needed to do within that 29 to 35-minute window to get Pat Mahomes ready for the second half. And they did just that. Chiefs came out in the second half. First drive of the second half, they came down, touchdown, boom. That takes it to 24-27. And the game kind of paused for a little bit. It kind of looked like both teams had figured each other out. There was a couple of calls in that third quarter that were somewhat questionable. The Devontae Smith catch down the sideline that they called back, that in my opinion, that was a catch, or was that in the second quarter? Regardless, Devontae Smith had a catch that was called back, and it was bang bang. A lot of people, it honestly could have went either way, 50-50. Dallas Goedert had a catch in, I want to say, the third quarter that a lot of people thought was incomplete, that they ruled complete. So it was a couple of things, but I don't think none of these calls, determine the outcome of the game. That's ultimately what I'm saying. Bang bang the way they were. I don't think those calls affected the game that much. Isaiah Pacheco, with the limited carries he had, I loved what I see. That young man, I truly believe, could be a 3-down back. He came in as a 7th rounder, and to be honest with you, completely took a 1st rounder, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He completely took his snaps. He took his carries. He took his snaps. Isaiah Pacheco has solidified himself as RB1 in Kansas City. And me personally, I would love to see them use him more. Jared McKinnon did what he's done all season and just be solid. They had that man out at tight end, running back. He was playing fullback. He was pulling on end arounds. It was crazy. Jared McKinnon, I thought who could possibly be out of the league after his injury with the 49ers, but he has bounced back in a tremendous way. Philadelphia, I was a little surprised at, how little I saw of Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders was a 1,000-yard back this year. Miles Sanders was somebody who was a focal point of this offense. And although Jalen Hurts was balling, and although, A.J. Brown, although Jalen Hurts was balling with his arm, I just feel like the Eagles kind of got away from what they do a little bit as far as running the ball. Boston Scott had a great game. Kenneth Gainwell was very solid, but I just truly believe Miles Sanders should have been more involved. Coming down to it, I think going into the fourth quarter, it was 21-27. when Jake Elliott kicked that field goal for Philly. Um, but ultimately, the 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 Chiefs pulled it out, man. They pulled it out. They were able to score another touchdown that took it to 28-21. Isaiah Pacheco scored that touchdown. Then it was just a great game. I can't get I can't say that enough. I know a lot of people are harping over the James Bradbury holding call on Juju, but even I mean, although a lot of people are saying, it was holding, but you can't make that call at that point in the game. I feel a lot more comfortable with the outcome of that call after listening to what James Bradbury had to say about it. Now, if James Bradbury would have came in the locker room and he would have had like a Joey Bosa mentality about it, as far as, and not to say that the refs weren't wrong in Jacksonville with the Joey Bosa situation, but if he would have just took that approach, as far as, you know what, yeah, I was holding, but you can't make that call at that point in the game. I appreciate James Bradbury for owning up to that and taking accountability for making a mistake, because I truly believe that that's going to put a lot of people's minds at ease as far as this NFL scripted, shenanigans. But the man, he made a mistake. It put the Chiefs in prime position to win the game. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, and this isn't even really it's hard to say that the Eagles lost this game because they didn't make many mistakes. They truly did not make many mistakes. Outside of they made, in my opinion, two mistakes: the holding on James Bradbury, and in the first half there was a 3rd-and-1, and the right guard got called for a false start. That took it to 3rd-and-6, and on the next play, Jalen Hurts fumbled, Nick Bolton touchdown, scoop and score for Chiefs 14-14. Those were the only two mistakes that the Eagles made in this entire game. Granted, they were crucial mistakes, but ultimately, I truly feel the better team won. I had the Chiefs before the Super Bowl even started. Feels good to be right. Feels good to be right. And I mean, with Tom Brady retiring and, nobody really knowing what's going on with Aaron Rodgers and a lot of the older quarterbacks that we've gotten used to over the past 10 to 15 years kind of dwindling out of the league. These new young guys, man, they coming. They coming. Pat, Jalen. You got Burrow. You got Josh Allen. But I mean, it's Justin Herbert. It's just a lot of young quarterback talent, and I think we're gonna have to get used to seeing a lot of new faces, a lot of new teams in successful positions or making playoff runs. Pat Mahomes, he can retire right now. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't think you'll get any question, none of that. Congratulations to Andy Reid, on your second Super Bowl. Congratulations. Congratulations to Travis Kelce. Like I said, the whole Chiefs organization, man. The whole Chiefs organization. And also to the Eagles. I'm not an Eagles fan whatsoever. I'm a Falcons fan, and it just always seems like if the Falcons want to be successful or do something good, at some point along the way, they're going to have to go through the Eagles. And a lot of times we haven't been able to make it through the Eagles. So I'm not someone who's necessarily an Eagles fan or even cares for Philadelphia. Not the city, just the team. But with what they got constructed, with the people they got in place, coaches, players, and just from a front office standpoint, I feel like the Eagles are going to be very good for a very long time. That just is what it is, in my opinion. It's a situation where if you want to make it to the Super Bowl and represent the NFC, you either gonna have to go through Philly or you're gonna have to go through San Fran. I mean, that just is what it is. Again, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs 38-35 over the Philadelphia Eagles. They're your Super Bowl champions. Pat Mahomes had probably a historic season. MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champ. He kind of ran the table this year. And a lot of people said he wasn't going to be able to do it after Tyreek Hill left for Miami. I don't think there's any more questions about who's the face of the NFL. I don't think there's any question about what Pat Mahomes can and can't do with who or who. You know what I'm saying? It just don't matter no more. You want to be crowned champ. You want to be the man. You want to be top dog. You got to go through 15 in KC. That just is what it is. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking along with me somehow, some way. I've managed to gain a couple of subscribers on my 3-week hiatus, but I'm coming. It's coming. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about this NBA trade deadline. MLB spring training is about to pop off, so I got some cooking for the MLB. But I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I appreciate y'all for watching. I love y'all. Thank y'all. I am Z. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all of that. Z out.